All right, welcome back, you guys. Fox, thanks so much for the 43-month resub, dude. Just watched the DRL VOD, got some real overslept exam PTSD. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was feeling, dude. Like, this time, though, the problem was I just didn't know, but it was totally my fault, but it wasn't that I just, like, forgot or it's like I overslept or something. Like, I actually just didn't know. So, but anyways, I apologize to Forza for it, and we're all good, dude. So, yeah, not my... I just hate being late for stuff, but unless it's stream. Being late for stream's fine. Okay, so what I'm doing... I was thinking maybe wait, you guys don't see the game. What did I just do? I was thinking maybe I could, like, show the spreadsheet on stream while doing this, but I think it's probably too much stuff and it's going to be way too small. Okay, well, what do you guys think? If I do this... I mean, wait a second. Let me... Like, if I do this, is this horrendous or what? Is this better than nothing or is this worse than nothing? I mean, maybe I can... Well, yeah, eventually I'll have splits, of course, but I don't know, just so that you can see what's happening, maybe. I don't think I'm doing the grand finals now, especially not after that, but no, I don't think so. What do you guys think? Better or worse than nothing? Yeah, just giving link is fine, or... I mean... I don't think I can really make it bigger. I mean, you guys don't have to see the notes, I guess. I mean, even just seeing the split name would probably be better than nothing, I guess. Okay. Yeah, probably just the name is fine. Put it somewhere there. But it's still so damn small. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe it'd just be better than nothing, but I don't know if that's actually true. Like, I just have the text so small in the spreadsheet, but I don't really want to make it bigger. I mean, it's fine. We've been going without it, so I don't know. Okay, so we were... Volume's fine, right? Going through the study hall. So we got the Black Wet Blade, we got the Mimic Tier. So I'm supposed to use Roiling Magma for the first kill. Just go like this. All bosses checklist mod format. I mean, you don't think just splits is good enough? I feel like splits are probably fine. I just haven't made them yet because I'm not at that point, I guess. Like, as soon as we start attempting the run, I'll move everything over to the actual hit counter and then do the normal thing. Okay, so... I guess the problem is I didn't write down the timing. But I do remember figuring it out. Oh. Also, I do need to buff, I think. About the hockey game last night? Which one? Okay, so... Well, yeah, I saw that the Gold Knights... Okay, what's happening? My left bumper's not working? Do I have a minimal strat... wait, setup strat for Miriam? Oh, they added him in Bingo, but in, like, which version, though? Because there are 2 different versions. Is it just any? Weird. Yeah, the charge got smoked. Yeah, I didn't watch the game, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, honestly. Because they got decimated from the looks of it. I think this looks fine, right? Maybe I could delay it a little bit more. Let me try it. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't go for it after Fingerstar. Yeah, true. I don't know. If that's a square, that's... We're gonna try something a little different. A big red cooler. Wait. There we go. That's better. Big red cooler, dude. Thanks so much for the 10 gifted subs, man. Make sure you thank Cooler if you got a sub right there. Thanks much, dude. There's like a certain sound that the spell makes that kind of the timing is useful for... I've been using it for Everjails and stuff, but I use a Shure SM58 for my mic. Did Forza say anything? No, Forza didn't even know, but I messaged him because I was like, man, I feel so bad, dude. There we go. That's very good. Yeah, there's like a certain noise the first one makes. It's like right when that higher pitched noise ends, that seems like good timing to like aggro Everjail bosses and stuff. Michael, thanks so much for the 23-month, 23-month tier 2 reset. Thanks so much, dude. Thanks, man. Okay, so we do that, and then we do this. But yeah, I honestly have no idea what bingo strat you could do. I mean, maybe like wild strikes, or not wild strike, or maybe wild strikes, but like spinning chain, maybe. Mouse and keyboard's good. There's nothing wrong with playing mouse and keyboard. Yeah, maybe spinning chain can do something. Except I guess that, like, it's still the randomizer for the bingo, right? So, I mean, is that big enough AoE? You can get either of them. Yeah, I actually do have a convergence run planned for the next big update they're doing. The only problem is I don't know the actual date of it. Okay, so we don't use stealth. We use night comment and buff. Or we buff and then use night comment. The game volume is normal for you guys, right? All games, all bosses, no hit run. Yeah, I'm still like... I'm still planning to do that. But I've just felt like doing some other stuff, I guess. Yeah, for bingo, though, I'd be very surprised if people could manage to find a kill from Miriam before the teleport happens. Because, yeah, that, I mean, gonna be a massive time sink square, I guess. But yeah, I do need to go back to Bloodborne, finish the Chalice run, which is fully routed. I just haven't done, like, I just haven't gone to do it. And then after that, I did some derusting on the routes. I guess I don't know, whenever I was planning on doing that. Wait, is this? I forget where the noble spawns, but yeah, I would just have to derust and then simply get the run at that point, but yeah, what's kind of calling me right now, though, especially after the marathon, is runs that are brand new to me, I guess, or like completely different from what I've done before. And so this run's really fun because there's so much stuff on this that we have to do that I've just never even really done in the game before, and a bunch of items I have to pick up that I've never picked up. So it's like a huge routing thing. And then I kind of wanted to go do Skyrim all achievements, no damage after this as well. But yeah, the runs, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of runs that it's just like really straightforward stuff that it's all explored territory, I guess. Like even doing, the reason I've only done one multi-game run ever is because of that reason. That when I did God Run 3, there's nothing really new that has to be routed for that, right? Everything's been figured out. It's just about doing them all in a row. Whereas a run like this, a run like Skyrim all achievements, those runs are, I mean, this run, I'm like, no one's probably even considered doing a run like this before. I certainly haven't. So it's a bunch of new stuff, which gets me excited. And then like Skyrim all achievements, I don't even know if it'll be possible, but that's the stuff I like the most for sure. Connor, thanks for the 35-month resub. Running 70% runs for years is fun, yeah. But like, I'm sure you guys can see why. Okay, so enchanted shot. Yeah, that's pretty much always how I've felt about no hit runs for the most part, but as the years have gone on, I've just done more and more runs, and so they're less and less kind of like more standard runs that I would actually want to do. The Chalice run is cool because it is quite different, and it's only one person has ever done that run, but the problem is that it's Chalice dungeons. That's the problem, dude. Chalice dungeons are very repetitive, and the bosses pretty much all suck except for one of them. I'm genuinely going to say that 2 bosses in the Chalices are actually good. So, yeah, that's part of why I haven't done that yet, I guess, but surely will eventually. Yeah, I probably should do another weapon class run, huh? I said I was going to do all of them and then make a tier list of the weapons, but I obviously haven't done that. Yeah, Chalices are a little rough, yeah. I mean, I think that's the main reason that only one person's done that, I think. It's not that the run is so difficult that it's just no one can do it except one person. It's more just that it's so repetitive, man. Zone Wanderer, thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. 1 hour stream, shortest ever? Nah, definitely not my shortest ever, dude. I've had some, probably my shortest ever stream is like, I start up my stream and then realize my internet's dying, and then I just stop. That's happened a few times. Okay, we're gonna want Loretta's Mastery for this, which I do have. Yeah, I guess I don't actually hate the Chalices, but for a no hit run, it's kind of unfortunate how it works out, because you really just want to complete the base game first and then do all the Chalices in a row. But I would highly recommend, if you are going to play the Chalices, which I first of all don't really recommend, to be honest, but if you are going to do them, you should like intertwine the Chalices with the base game on your playthrough. 100%. Like you should You should play some base game, unlock the first chalice, complete the first chalice, go back to the base game, and so on, and kind of go back and forth. Because if you do it, if you try to go chalices kind of like all in a row, it's so repetitive, man. It's just like every dungeon looks the exact same because they literally are. Well, sort of. They do have like some different skins, I guess, but I guess it's even more repetitive than the Elden Ring's catacombs and stuff, just simply because there's no open world in between. Okay, so one tick right of north is where I'm supposed to go. How's it going, Bender? I think that's the spot right there. If I'm not mistaken. Don't even really need to buff for this. Zone, sounds good, dude. Ooh. You know, I'm supposed to have 22 mind by now. I guess I do. I love this strat. Well, it's more like a glitch than a strat, I guess, but quite nice. And very easy to pull off as well. Dude, Subnautica, I not that I'm necessarily going to play it on stream, but I added it to my Steam cart, I guess. So I probably will play it at some point, but maybe just not on stream. Okay, so wait, we need to go get D's armor. Mid Nautica. Really? Do people not like it or what? I mean, I was still going to try it probably regardless, but... Yeah, I guess it is early access or whatever, right? So... Is it not as good as the first one yet? Or whatever? I mean, maybe I should just wait. Wait, they might sue at this point? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What, like people can't stream it or something? I said to use Loretta's Great Bow to get order healing to kill that scarab, but I feel like I want to just use mastery if I can. Okay, well, nothing really interesting here. I probably just get some more mind, though. So, we jump from here. Toddler type that in somehow an emoji. That's advanced stuff right there. Impressive. I had to struggle on Radagon with an incantation build. I mean, it's not bad, but incantations are very good on him. You just catch flame. One of the best spells on him. Okay, surely mastery works for this. Hopefully. That's impressively bad, actually. That's really insane, dude. Damn it. I don't want to have to use the great bow here, but... I guess it's fine. There's a reason I said he used the great bow. You have to disclose it's not full release. Stream it. Well, like I said, I probably wouldn't even stream it anyways, but... Sounds like they've been giving people some trouble, I guess. Okay, so... At the gesture. If I stream it, is it a tax write-off? Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure, I guess. But like, even if I don't stream it, I mean, I wouldn't really buy a game at this point and not have it as a tax write-off in some way. I don't say to use red feather, so. And I don't even use charge, so we'll go cast speed. And now this is a situation where I could go Azure Staff, but I'm probably better off going Sacred Order, if anything. I'm just kind of curious, though. There's no way I can use Azures, right? That's the problem, I guess. The double extra FP consumption. Okay, well, anyways, let's just see what happens. And you know what? I'm not even sure if I need to cast Terra Magica here, but let's see. I probably did. But I said to use 2 uncharged on each one, so. Yep, perfect. Not perfect. I'll use Sacred Order. Just 10% more damage. It should make it a cleaner kill on the second guy. It's kind of nice fighting this boss and not... Well, killing this boss and not having to do that stealth strat. Because I don't really like... I mean, the stealth strat's really nice, but it's just so slow. It's slow and kind of tedious to do. That's crazy. I remember Dist losing some speed run at one point. Dude, because he spawned in facing that way and just sprinted off the edge and died. I probably should have gotten the Grace there. Golden Land. And then we shouldn't have to kill them on the second part. I think that was fine. I haven't usually been... I haven't killed those guys normally, but it seems safer. Oh, yes. Okay, the Rune Bear. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait, no. Wait, where the hell is he, dude? I walked past him? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so for this part, hopefully I don't need the fire physic or anything, but we do 2 roilings and then a charged night comet. And I'm assuming I want to use Godfrey Icon. Probably fire is better too. Let's see. And I remember the bear waking up pretty often too. And I think I do have to stealth as well. So let's do charge, uncharge. That's not good. I mean, it was a good strat. It wasn't enough damage somehow. I probably need the physic for that. Like if I have the magic tier plus the fire tier, that's easily enough. So okay, let's try this now. This should be good, I think. Yeah, it does require NG plus 2, yeah. We don't use any save files or anything like that. I mean, I do think this run would still... Okay, we're stealth. I got physic. I think fire tier should be better. That's better. Also, I guess the other kill would have worked still if I just used Night Comet, right? Like, maybe that's what I was doing before. Wait, did I get the talisman? Yeah, what I was saying is I think this run, even if I didn't do the extra ending achievements, I still think this would be a very satisfying run to do. Oh, and dude, I didn't even have the charge stuff on there. But yeah, that's fine. I just need to start spamming him with Night Comet at the end there. But yeah, getting the ending achievements really just adds an extra 2 playthroughs, and that's all it does. It doesn't really add anything interesting. You know, especially considering the Darkmoon Greatsword is already a legendary weapon for the achievement. So the fact that you have to do the running quest anyways, like you could just do the Elden Lord ending. Doing the Frenzy Flame ending really doesn't add much. I mean, I could have changed it, of course, but we're doing normal all achievements still. I've done a Guardian Sword Spear no hit, but I mean, that weapon I feel like is mostly just a really good Ash of War stick, I guess. So that's what I did. I used Piercing Fang and it destroyed the whole game. Easily. Watching live on Twitch instead of YouTube video feels weird. Like, yeah, YouTube video. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much know exactly what you're saying because, like, the first time I came to Twitch was I was watching Warframe videos. And then I went to the guy's stream, and it's like, whoa, this is kind of weird. Like, he's actually just talking live, and it's not in the video. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But yeah, we would still have to go to NG+, though, on this run, because you still have to get Warrior Jar Shard, and you still have to get Nefeli's ashes and or Spirit Ash and stuff like that, but it would speed up the run quite a bit. But it's not like, the thing is, with how strong the build is, going to NG plus and NG plus 2, everything's scripted anyway, so literally every boss, so it totally doesn't, I mean, obviously it adds a little bit of risk, but not really. Oh, dude, I didn't get the Ghost Glowvort at 5? I don't even know where that is, honestly. We do have +4, right? Or no, I don't. Where is that? I'm sure there's so many I could get, but I wrote this one down specifically for some reason. Elfman, thanks so much for the 1100 bits, dude.
Demons worry when the wizard is near. He turned tears to joy. Everyone's happy when the wizard walks by.
True, dude. Also, Fubas, thanks for the 19-month Prime sub. Yeah, thanks so much, dude. I'm just going to find where this Ghost 5 is. Because, yeah, right now we have 1 through 4 covered. And then I just need 6 and 7. And then, I don't know where I got this from, but it must be somewhere around here. It's not this, is it? Oh, no, it's after the Rune Bear. After the Rune Bear, but before getting Vacuum Slice. There we go. Okay, lay boys time. Elden 33 soundtrack. Yeah, it is pretty good. It's quite nice to listen to while playing Elden Ring, I guess. Honestly, it's better than... I mean, I just like listening to it more than the actual Elden Ring soundtrack. But maybe that's an insane take or something. I think we probably just go casting speed. Yeah, this fight with Night Comet is pretty straightforward. That's this here. Maybe I could have done this a little further away. We'll cast this again. And then after we kill Rajir, we will re-howl. Actually, wait, is it supposed to be the other order? Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't get much easier than Night Comet here. And it's so much safer than Sacred Relic Sword, because Sacred Relic Sword can just miss and it's just a disaster, but then, I mean, they actually just can't do anything against Night Comet. And I mean, Lightning Spear is great too, but it's slower and it's just not as good as Night Comet, so. Okay, so the strat for Fortisax is we stealth, we buff,
I knew you. What is it?
and then we just do mastery twice. That's it.
I am the guy. They call me. Yet you.
Do I like the magma blades? Or like just a single magma blade? I didn't know Heron with it. It's surprisingly good, actually. So yeah, I do. The weapon art is one of the, or the Ash of War is the best, one of the best things on Millennia in the whole game. Because it can stun lock into an R1, I think. And you get like the entire full Ash of War into an R1. And so it's very good. Against her specifically. I mean, has that video come out? I think so, right? I can't remember. I'm expecting this run to be 20 to 25 hours probably, and we're currently 11 hours. This isn't a live attempt right now, but it's just the in-game time. 11 hours. Spent 20 minutes grinding it out. Did I have my unbelievable streamer luck? No, I think I just dropped it at the start of the game for myself or something. I can't really remember. All right, let me get rid of these. Which class begins with 9 vigor? The sorcerer. Or whatever it is. Where do I see that? Astrologer. Okay. So I don't think I need to double stealth even for this. Like just single stealth is enough. What's the difference between the different seals in Elden Ring? It's all about the scaling. Certain seals will like, so most of them scale with faith purely. Some don't though. Some scale with strength, or one of them scales with strength. One of them scales with intelligence, which is the Golden Order seal. So that's the first thing. But then the other seals, they basically just scale differently based on your stats. So some seals, like Godslayer seal, for example, scales really nicely with like, it's good at high faith too, but like low to mid faith is pretty good. I can't remember if it's the best, honestly, but then like Erdtree seal is the best at high faith, but it's like a bit weaker early game. That kind of stuff doesn't really matter that much, to be honest, but I say to use all buffs, so I assume that means Sacred Order as well. Is this enough buffs for you? Do I have the right talismans on? Probably enough. No, it's not. So with Godfrey Icon, would that have been enough? Maybe. So yeah, for the most part, you don't have to worry too much about what seal you're picking unless you're going with the double stat seal, which honestly you shouldn't really ever do. Golden Order seal is the best seal in the game if you're at extremely high level. So at 80 int and 80 faith, it's the best seal in the game, and above that, of course. But that's obviously super high level. The Gravelstone seal is kind of bad. Like, it's kind of never good, I don't think. Even if you're a strength faith build, I don't think it's actually better, but I mean, maybe if you have a ton of strength, it could be better. I don't know. I haven't really tried it because it's kind of bad, but yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe if you want to use incantations and you like just have enough stats to use them and you have 99 strength or something, maybe it's good. Yeah, Godslayer is good at low faith, yeah. I think Finger Seal as well is good at... Like, Finger Seal is pretty good overall. Godslayer is good overall as well. But Erdtree is best at, like, high faith, though. Let's try this again. I still think the kill I did there was safe, but I'd rather just kill him in 2 hits, I think. So Howl. Sacred Order. I still feel like this isn't enough damage. Okay, wait, maybe it is. I'm pretty sure 3 shots is safe. The one concern I have, though, is getting some Death Lightning meme or something like that. But I don't even think it can reach this far. Gravelstone seal is bad. Yeah, that's another good point, actually. That's something I didn't mention, is that most of the seals have a passive effect. So this one boosts the Fundamentalist incantations, so like the Golden Order incantations, I guess. So like Triple Rings of Light and what else is there? You know, ones like that, I guess. Where are we going next? So Fortis Axe is down. Just continue. And so yeah, like generally, if I'm doing an incantation build, I will go with Golden Order Seal as my main damaging seal, but then you can, if you're planning on using the Bestial incantations, which I did do a run with those. Oh, you know what I forgot? I did do a run with those. Then you'd want to go with the Gravelstone Seal in your offhand because it still buffs your main hand incantations, which I honestly think is garbage design, but that's just how it is, so. I mean, going from here is certainly faster. Or it's closer. But when I did this before, I went through here. But I was thinking I would pick up the Death Staff, but maybe I won't. If I go this way. Yeah, I think I've always hated the whole, like, wield this staff in your offhand and you'll get the buff still. Because I think that's just... Like, the whole point of having different staves in the game and different... I wonder what Glowwort that is. The whole point of having different staves and different talismans is to encourage kind of diversifying your... Or not diversifying, but picking and speccing into one category, I guess. So if you're planning on using a lot of bestial incantations, you should want to pick the Beast Seal. You should want to do that, but the way the game works, and the way pretty much all the Souls games works, is that you just put the thing in your offhand, and then you just use the best scaling one. Which I just don't even see the point. Like, why would they even do that then? Okay, so I was just checking what I need to kill this guy with. But anyways, that is how it works. There was something else I was thinking of, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, I guess so. Because of how the scaling works on the staves, right, with the different stats and stuff, a very common misconception is that spells scale off of the stat requirements that they have. Right, so for example, if I look at Gelmir's Fury, a lot of people would look at the stat spread needed for this. You need 28 int and 15 faith, and they would think like, oh, it scales with int and faith. That's not how it works at all. It's very misleading, honestly, but those are just the stat requirement, but the scaling of the spell is purely based on the staff. So if I'm using, I mean, that spell can scale with strength, potentially, right? If I'm using the Beast Claw Seal, or whatever the hell it's called. I forget what it's called. But if I'm using that Strength Faith scaling seal, that spell will scale off of Strength and Faith. Or if I'm using Golden Order Seal, it could scale with Int and Faith, right? Or if I'm just using Erdtree Seal, it only scales with Faith and so on. So that's how it works. Now, was I supposed to... Yeah, I was supposed to get the Grace. And that's... Like, I'm pretty sure every Souls game works like that. And for sure Dark Souls 3 does, but I'm pretty sure all the rest of them are the same. What's the Belvine? The Belvine, it's the same as Azure Staff, but like even better actually, because it brings you the max casting speed. Definitely intended that for that to be the case because Erdtree Seal doesn't even buff. But I just don't like the design. Like, I just don't think it makes sense. But yeah, maybe they intended it, I guess. I mean, I'm sure they did because it's been a thing since... I mean, in DS1, is that a thing? I don't know. It's been a thing for a while, I think. At least in Dark Souls 3, for sure. But yeah, you just think, like, I think intuitively you would think, oh, here's this seal that boosts this specific type of incantations, so I should use it if I'm going to use those incantations, right? That's what you would think, but that's actually not the best play. I say to get this grace, probably because I just wanted to fast travel back to it, I think. The meteorite stuff just makes any early game staff unnecessary once you hit 18 int. That is true, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about reaching mountaintops because it really depends. Like, Lusat staff does get better once you get to +6, and I think even when you're at the same int, but obviously Lusat is 52 int, so that's... For a normal playthrough, meteorite staff is very good up until, yeah, what you're saying, like mountaintops, when you actually can reach that really high int. Yeah, I mean, the magic system in these games is... I don't think it's bad or anything. Like, I think I should be crouching right now. I don't think it's bad. But there are some questionable decisions, I think. I mean, even the fact that I have to... Look what I have to do. So my first spell is Unseen Form. If I want to get to, like, Loretta's Mastery, look what I have to do. Like, that's crazy, I think. To still have to do something like that. It's very old school, but in a bad way. And then you have this thing where you can cycle back to the first spell if you hold up on the D-pad, but it just, I mean, feels ancient, dude. What is this one? I think I already have this, whatever it is. No, I don't. So we get the 6 here. So what am I missing here? So we have 1, 2, 3. Perfect, dude. The 7's right up here as well, I think. That's probably unnecessary. It'd be nice if you had spell slots on the actual catalyst. I don't know if that would really work with the system that's in the game right now. Because what they have in Night Rain is cool, I guess, but it wouldn't really work in this game considering you have to, like, actually upgrade the other staves and stuff. And then the fact that some staves are just way better than others. Maybe not way better, but... Favorite area in Elden Ring? I think... well... I don't know. I've said Liurnia before, just, like, at least the best looking area, I think. But my actual favorite area, I mean, probably Stormvale, maybe. No cuckery. It's not ideal. Yeah, it would be cool to see them update their spell system in the next Souls game, considering it's been... I mean, it's pretty much been the exact same since Demon's Souls, right? Is there anything that's been changed? Other than just adding cooler spells and stuff? More and cooler spells? Yeah, that's true. Bloodborne does do it differently, but... I mean... Is it good? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, I guess, the fact that you get the bullets and you can convert your health, maybe. I did say to get the Wing of Estelle, but I don't use it, right? I don't think I use it. spells need to be changed? Obviously, it doesn't need to, but I think they should. It could make the games better.
Is some accustomed? Well,
Surely they give us custom spells like like in Morrowind or something. Imagine how fun that'd actually be to mess around with custom spells in a game like this. That'd be unreal, dude. Oh, dude, that'd actually be so sick if you can combine like Loretta Mastery and Roiling Magma or something like that, and you get some crazy effect. You like shoot an arrow that's tipped with fire and then it explodes or something like that. Like Millwood Great Bow kind of thing. Man, that would be so sick, actually. See, that's what I mean, though. Like, they could definitely upgrade the spell system. And yeah, like, imagine you could even change the... you could change the damage, like the magnitude of the spell, and you could change the... You know, you can make your custom hidden body that... You can make a custom duration, and it does the same system as Morrowind, where it scales the magicka cost based on what the effects are, and you could just combine a whole bunch of stuff. You could make like a Golden Vow plus Howl all in one type of thing. Is that asking for too much? What is this? It's a 2. I mean, wouldn't that be just insane, though? That'd be so much fun, dude. That's what we need in the next game.
Maybe
Oh, shit, I forgot the talisman.
Go Habs.
Shogun, thanks for the 46-month resub, dude. I cannot agree with that, but it is insane what they're doing. Well, I don't know if it's that insane yet. We'll have to see what happens, I guess, in the game today. Yeah, winning 2 series is quite impressive, but I don't think it's like shocking, though. I think if they beat Carolina, then that's shocking at that point, for sure. Like, that's insane. I mean, even if they make it to, like, Game 6, I think that's pretty impressive already. Let alone winning. If they win the series, dude, then I'm gonna... it's gonna feel really bad. But... yeah, I guess we can just... I mean, we have every... I don't even really need to buy the 1s and 2s. Could legit request that idea. What? Yeah, to mod makers? I mean, maybe, but... I don't know. I'm more just talking... I'm not saying I would need to have this in the game. It's more just that in the next Souls game, I'm just trying to think of ways that they can improve the magic system. And I think that would definitely be such a fun thing. Man, like, you would have to play mage build in these games if you could do stuff like that. Because melee builds would be so... like, it would feel so bland compared to being able to... that's kind of what happens in Morrowind anyways, I guess, right? It's like, you can go with a melee build where you're just, like, missing every swing. Like, half your swings you just miss in the early game or something. I mean, even in Morrowind, the magical weapons, the bound weapons are just way better than... than the normal weapons. At least at the start of the game, for sure. So... so yeah, they would need to make melee weapons even... well, yeah, I could easily break the game, but... breaking the game is fun, dude. Is that... I don't think that's a hot take. Breaking the game is very fun. I probably didn't even have to buff here. As long as it's not... especially in a game like this, because... I guess... yeah, this game isn't meant to be... the Souls games have always been games that are meant to be kind of, like, challenging. Where it's supposed to... you're supposed to feel accomplishment after beating bosses and stuff like that. This game is maybe the first one where it really doesn't feel like that necessarily anymore because you can get so strong. But I think that's fun, though. I think that's okay. I just don't know if Miyazaki would want that, but you could also make that custom spell system and have it not be broken, potentially. You just have to, like, really test out everything. I think Melee would feel better if it had higher mobility. Why did I run in front of this person? So it's a 7, I think. Oh, I was going to use the cannon here, I think. Yeah, I wonder what they could do with Melee to make it, like, worth playing in a game like that. Yeah, more mobility, maybe. I kind of already, I think in this game, I think it's already they're already going in the direction where I honestly think magic is probably just straight up more fun in this game. Now, there obviously people go like, oh, I just prefer Melee playstyle, which is fair, but I mean, magic just has a lot more to offer, I feel like, than just going with a Melee build and using a bunch of different Ashes of War and stuff. Like, because you can really just do anything. You can blast people with a cannon. You can go in close range with, if you want to, like, melee a boss down with Slicer, or you can launch a bunch of great arrows at an enemy's head from a mile away. You can put, like, ticking time bombs next to a boss and they explode as soon as they spawn in. Like, Melee just cannot compete with that, man. Already. So it does already feel like Elden Ring magic, I think is... I think probably overall someone will have a more fun experience playing with magic in this game compared to playing with a melee build. Just because I think the experience is just better. Valhalla, how's it going, dude? Does feel like magic was the main thought when making the game? It could be. I mean, clearly they put a lot of time into making all of these spells, right? I mean, the spells in this game are definitely the coolest that we've gotten in any Souls game. Melee needs better movesets across the board. Yeah, more movesets would be good. Yeah, more and better movesets, sure. Oh, shit, I forgot about this guy. What was I supposed to do? I think I was supposed to kill him before going in there. Yeah, I was supposed to... Okay, I was supposed to kill the ball first. And then we get the Puppet Ashes, which I just got. We got Moon of Noxtella. Magic is... Wait. Oh, is OP since Demon Souls? Well, they... Yeah, Magic in Demon Souls is the best. Magic in DS1's the best. DS2... Magic is... Is it still the best? Maybe. I mean, I do think in DS2 Magic got worse than in DS1. for sure. But I mean, you can still just carry around like 30 soul spears in that game and just blast through everything. So it's still really strong, but then, you know, they made it not as buffable. Like Red Tearstone doesn't even work with it. So DS2, it got weaker. Now, DS3 is where I think of the balance was struck the best. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe people disagree with that, but like DS3 sorcery is still strong, but it's not significantly stronger than melee in that game, I don't think. Like, especially with how, yeah, the way the bosses, like, first of all, you're way more limited with types of magic you have in DS3 compared to this game. But then DS3 really ups the bosses a lot. I'm not talking about Bloodborne, I guess, because Bloodborne magic was... I honestly don't really know how good magic is in Bloodborne. I feel like it's probably worse, for sure, than melee in that game. So that's, I guess that's notable, but... But yeah, you have way less options in DS3 for magic. And like, you know, for example, you have Baron Flash Sword is a melee sorcery in that game. But comparing it to... Where do I drop normally? Comparing it to Carrion Slicer is like comparing... I don't even know, dude. It's like comparing a Michelin star restaurant versus eating out of the toilet or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not even close. Slicer is so damn good, whereas Baron Flash Sword is just like barely a melee attack that does a tiny amount of damage. And so the way... Yeah, and I was saying the bosses had a huge step up in DS3 compared to DS2. So it's not as easy to just sit back on a boss and just spam Soul Spear. You know what I mean? The bosses are hunting you down while you're trying to cast this slow-ass spell. Now, that doesn't mean it's not good, but it's way harder to use in DS3. And melee can be easier a lot of the time. But sorcery can also, or like magic can be easier sometimes as well. Like pyromancy is really strong. But in my opinion... Is that it? I haven't been paying attention. I think you only have to talk until she says the first thing. But yeah, I think DS3, the balance between magic builds and melee builds are like so close, in my opinion. Do people agree with that? I haven't really thought about that too much, I guess, but... I should just put a split here for Blide guy. Wait, how do you spell his name? Is it with 2 D's or 2 I's? I forget, dude. Not that it matters, I guess. I think it's 2 D's, right? Double D. Anyways, but then, yeah, so Dark Souls 3, I think there was a really good balance between the builds. Like melee versus magic, but then in this game, they went crazy with magic, but they also went crazy with melee. So it's, like, it's still pretty close, but I mean, they went crazy for both. Definitely.
Oh, Shadow, thou art the last, beautifully fought.
I do think magic is still better in this game, though, than melee.
'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned.
How's it going, Abbas? Buff,
I finally stand before
I don't know.
This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe.
I like having buffs, but I don't like them being... Well, first of all, I think there are too many in this game, for sure. But you also just don't have to use them, I guess, like... But... No, I probably wouldn't. It's a little overboard in this game. But I do like having buffs, but I think maybe they're just too accessible or something, right? They're too accessible, or maybe they're too strong. I'd rather almost longer duration buffs that aren't as strong, maybe. Because then it's more geared towards a normal boss fight rather than like, oh, here's your 25% extra damage plus your 20% extra damage plus your 22.5% extra damage plus your, you know, whatever else, plus your 15% extra damage, all that stuff combining to like one-shot a boss. I'd rather just have way lower numbers, but then have it longer duration, so then they're still worth using, but you're not just going to one-shot every boss kind of thing. But that's also, I mean, that's, yeah, from a no-hit perspective, I guess. Again, I think also casually, it is annoying. Well, maybe it's not annoying, but like a buff like, forget about Howl, but Flame Guard Me Strength is a buff that doesn't have a downside. It only lasts for 30 seconds. So on a normal playthrough, you want to use a buff like that, you can go in and get like a few hits on the boss with it, but it doesn't really do anything, so it's not even worth using. So at that point, it's really only worth using if you have like some optimized build or if you're speed running or no hit running or something, which I don't know if I like that as much. But no, overall, I don't like that you can stack like 100 buffs together and then just blast stuff. Yeah, having them last longer, it encourages people to use it on a normal playthrough. And discourages having fights where the enemy just gets one-shotted, I think. Do I think DS3 should have a class that starts with a damaging miracle? I mean, sure, I guess. I don't think it really matters, though. Well, I mean, maybe it does kind of matter, though, because if you wanted to go with the miracle build in that game, and you're like, oh, which class should I pick? And then you just don't have anything. You pick the one that has force and a heal. And it's just like, which is, I guess, the cleric, right? What the hell is this, dude? This does no damage. And then you just don't find lightning spear. And so you go through basically the first, what, 6 to 10 hours of the game without being able to deal damage with any sort of miracle. So yeah, I think they should have, yeah, for sure. It's kind of dumb how it's set up, actually. I never really thought about it. Gonna try next Souls game. Only gonna be on Switch. Well, it's not a Souls game, but I honestly don't know, man. I don't have a Switch 2. Buying a Switch 2 for a game like that just sounds insane, dude. But I don't know. I don't really want to. There's no way I ever would. There's a 0% chance I ever would if I didn't stream and I couldn't tax write off the Switch 2 plus the game. Stuff like that. There's like a negative 1,000 chance I would ever do that. There's 0 chance. But because I can, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not even interested in the game, dude. Like, so I might not. Depends when it comes out, maybe. Like, if it came out next week, I would not be playing it. Like, I'm not going to get a Switch in the next week, but if it comes out in 6 months from now, which is probably a lot more likely, then I'm not sure. Oh, I said I get to 9 strength here, but I've already done that. Oh, I'm at 11 strength. Is that right? And do I not go Stone Barb? I don't think I needed it. Where's Spectral Lance? We still have no idea what the actual gameplay loop is or how the combat works. That is true. Yeah. I mean, the only thing they've shown is that one trailer. Where I don't even remember when that was, but that's the only thing, right? What about magic sorcery class? Wouldn't be about damage, but debuffs? Yeah, I mean, I guess that'd be fine, but... Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, I guess. Yes, I guess there aren't many debuffs in the game, I guess, right? But you do have the Ancestor Greathorn or whatever is a debuff, but it's not really like a practical support type of debuff where you just like cast it from far away and then the boss has less defense or something. They also nerfed it heavily, but then you also have the Gideon weapon. That's a debuff, but that's it, right? I mean, frost debuffs, but that's pretty much all you have. But yeah, I mean, more debuffs, sure. Oh yeah, Milos, I guess, yeah. But none of them are really sorceries, though. Yeah, what Faith or what Miracles have, incantations have in this game is they do have buffs, right? Like general good all-around buffs for defense, for damage buffing, stuff like that. But then sorcery doesn't really have a lot of debuffs. It is kind of weird. You would think it would. Okay, so what is the strat? We go with Sovereignty. And probably like this. And I shouldn't need any buffs for this kill either. I think I set it up that way. Yeah, I kind of don't really remember this, so let's see. I'm gonna go no buffs just to see. But I can't remember. I'm a little far away. That was so bad. That was not it. But the stun was correct, but I can't remember where I have to stand. What is happening here? That's clearly not right. I had a really nice strat here, but I... either save file RNG or... it was actually not good. Doesn't even look like close to enough damage to me, but it is close. But yeah, I do need like physic or something, but that's fine. Of course, doing this normally, I would pretty much use all my buffs. Spectral Lance really is new Glyph Blades? I mean, it's not new. Like, I think even my first all boss no hit run, I used Spectral Lance for some things, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually, it works very nicely here because it has enough range to hit the head and like actually tracks pretty well. Like, generally. But then I say that. It also causes this input read to happen. But now, is this scuffed now? I don't really remember what I'm supposed to do. This is no good. There's something about timing based on which tail attack I got. I mean, this might just kill straight up. Yeah, my cat really does not like the controllers there. Because she's definitely claimed that as her spot. Yeah, you'll notice pretty much every time Estelle does this attack, I need to do all my buffs for sure. Well, wait, was this only physic? I think so. I didn't even get a headshot. But yeah, she doesn't like it here. It's kind of annoying. I have such a massive area on my desk over here, dude. Like, insanely big area. And she just wants to sit over there in the tiny spot. Ronnie's sorceries are the best for the void bosses. I mean, does it work on the meteorites? I guess I never thought about that. Like, could I use... Dude. Yeah, that's good to hear, Valhalla. Yeah, the controller, I mean, I'm still using mine, and I'm still very much liking it. How do I not miss? I don't really recall this happening. But it must have happened. I mean, hitting the tail is better than missing entirely. See if it's enough. Not if I get a half hit. Oh boy. Maybe this strat is garbage, man. The strat might be garbage. Yeah, let's go Stone Barb. I don't like using any timed buffs here, though, for the most part, because then if Estelle gives you weird RNG, then you're kind of just toast. Maybe I was supposed to get closer. That's too close. Did I try the DLC of Expedition 33? I did. I mean, when I started playing the game, it was after the DLC was released anyway, so. So yeah, I did play all of it. Honestly, wasn't even aware like what was DLC and what wasn't. Too far, I think. This first one does always hit. Really? I just gotta get the timing down, dude. Because I was happy with the strat when I was trying this before, so. But yeah, you can't get too close because then you get that spinny attack. Man. Yeah, it was a free DLC when the Game Awards, when they got the Game of the Year or something, they dropped it, something like that. And it added did it add the tower, or was that part of the game already? It certainly added like the hard mode bosses to the tower. The endless tower, even though it's not endless, but here comes the French guy. But wait, the whole tower was there, like, including the Simon fight? Like the Star or something Simon? Yeah, okay, that's why they added those extra bosses then, right? Or something? But anyway, so that was added plus the, like, Verso drafts or whatever. Couple thanks for the brand new Prime sub. I appreciate that. How do I hit this consistently? Part of the problem is that there are two different tail attacks. That was lucky, man. Memory Grace if I... Yeah, I can just Memory Grace. I mean, that's pretty much the plan if something goes wrong here. Because the reason I have to do this strat, or the reason I need to skip phase 2 is because the meteorite attack is just pure RNG. Now, it's super low chance to get hit, and so a lot of people have been like, oh, here's this method of dodging it. I've never been hit before. It is, like, it's mostly consistent to dodge it, but it's not 100%, and I'm not about to lose a 12-hour run to RNG on a stealth meteorite attack, dude. Should be good, I think. Serpent Hunter good? I mean, it's fine, but not for what we're trying to do. No, if I can just get the timing on that second throw. This is probably the best Estelle shot I've seen, actually. Because see, it's like, it's, unless that's save file RNG, it's so insanely consistent, actually. But it might be save file RNG, to be honest. Okay, let's go from here. That's not what I meant. I wish the range of that spell was better. Oops. That would be cool if you know, you get custom spells. You can customize spells out of Spellmaker or something, and then you could make a spell that has more range on it. That would be pretty cool. I actually think that would work so well in this game, dude. It really would work. I've never thought about it before. I mean, you would think I would have thought about that with the whole Elden Ring Morrowind mod that someone's making, but I didn't even consider spell creation. Elden Ring's too big, 100%. The game's way too big. I think just the base game, it was already just a little bit too big, but not that bad. With the DLC, though, it's way too big, man. In my opinion. Like, DLC should have just been another game or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Mountaintop and Snowfield, I think, is where you get to the part where it's like, okay, maybe it's dropping off a little bit. Farm Azula is really good, but it's just, like, these areas could have been good, of course, but it's a huge downgrade from everything before it, pretty much. Like, Limgrave, Liurnia, Altus, Gelmir, and, like, even Caelid is... Like, Caelid's probably the worst of those, but still cool. But then, yeah, you get Mountaintops, and it's like, man, what the hell's even the point of this? And then Snowfield's even worse. So, yeah. Yeah, and then honestly, like, the DLC just... the reason I think it's too... Why do I have a Grace there? Oh, yeah, I guess I ran through. I guess what I mean by too big is that... I guess my main problem is that... I guess it has to do mostly with character progression through the game. Because I think up until pretty much Mountaintops, the character progression's good, and you know, you keep upgrading your weapons, you level up and it's meaningful, all that stuff. And like I think that probably still happens throughout like most of the base game. Where that does not happen anymore is in the DLC. That was just lucky, I guess, man. I think I was just too far. Oh. Clearly that reaches. This is really weird. But you know what? Maybe it has been save file RNG this whole time. Come on, you got to do spinny. Fragment combo? Nah, I guess not, but it is part of it, I guess. I honestly think it was save file RNG, would that make the strat work so well, but... But yeah, we could just upkeep the poise damage through that, and then if I don't get the stun on that, it should... Ooh, is this still safe, I wonder? I don't know. Yeah, that is another part of it too. Yeah, the repeated bosses and stuff. For sure. Like that's another indication that the game's getting too big. I think some repeats are fine, like especially when they're fun bosses. The Falling Star Beast, I think they make sense to have multiple of them, considering what they are, and then they're also like decently fun to fight. I mean, as long as they're not in some random cave, though. You know, like they have to make sense in the world, which I guess they don't always do, but most of the time they do. Yeah, just with the character progression going in the DLC, there certainly did not have to be another open world where it feels like you're just restarting. That was a big mistake, I think. Would I be surprised by another Night Rain DLC? I don't know. Wouldn't be that surprised. I still haven't even fought the Everdark Balancer boss, and I don't really intend to either. But I mean, I guess if there was, I would actually go back and do that. Cutting Giant and Snowfield from base game. Reworking Madness Forest in the posts. Yeah, I definitely agree with the base game stuff, but yeah, I mean, maybe call me a certified just DLC hater, but we didn't need another open world for sure. We did not need that. Did I kill this girl? Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Dividing by 0, thanks for the donation, dude.
Think there is a massive balance gap between attributes/stats? And if so, which one do you believe is the weakest and which one is the strongest?
I don't think so. I think the attributes are pretty good. In this game, I mean, in the other Souls games, there are some that are definitely like way worse. I feel like in this game, they're all pretty good, though. Like, obviously, Mind is kind of just like a utility thing for spell builds. And then... like, what else, though? Like, Mind is clearly the worst stat, but... like, Endurance is really nice, because you get carry weight as well. Obviously, Vigor is the most important stat in the game, pretty much, but... and then all the damaging stats have really good builds with them, so... yeah, I guess anyways, to finish my point, I was basically saying the DLC being open world, I just didn't feel like there was a need to do it because, first of all, they clearly didn't have enough items. Like, part of having an open world is, I think, having items that are interesting enough to go pick up, or at least that make your character stronger. Now, Fragments obviously did that. I don't want to talk much about them, but they did make your character stronger, but in like the most artificial way possible, in that like they just increase all of your stats and all your defense and your damage, stuff like that, and they just made the bosses tankier because of it. And it only, like, literally only affects the DLC. So it's like, it's not even really, it's not super rewarding to go get them, I don't think. But then there's nothing really else that's that good, right? I mean, other than, I do think the spells and the weapons are cool, but maybe they're few and far between compared to like 50 crafting books that they put in and 100 smithing stone ones and stuff like that. And clearly they didn't have enough items to fill everything. But then by that point in the game, because the base game's already so big, your character doesn't need more stuff, really. But what that ends up causing is massive open areas that just have nothing of interest in them, pretty much. And that's what we got. That's exactly what I'd be worried about if someone pitched that idea to me. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna add a big DLC, massive open world. Like, okay, well, what are you gonna populate that open world with to make it interesting? There are you get some good spells, you get some cool talismans and stuff, but it's too much stuff. Too much area for that small number of items, I guess. And then, yeah, it's just there's no room for the character to progress anyways past that point, because a normal character getting into the DLC could easily be level, like, 200 even, or level 150 or 200, which at that point, getting stats doesn't even really matter anymore. It's all just bonus stuff because you're already at all the soft caps for everything. So... kind of mess that up, I guess. So yeah, on the question, is the game too big? The base game already is a little bit too big, I think. And yeah, repeat bosses and kind of bland areas are the indicator of that. But then, yeah, the DLC, dude, I mean... like, I think if you... The bosses in the DLC are so good. And the items are also really cool. But if that could somehow be compressed into the size of what Elden Ring is right now... what the hell's that noise? Right, if you remove some of the duplicate bosses... reduce some of the duplicate bosses that you get in the base game, replace them with the top tier DLC bosses like Mesmer and Bale and R'Lana, you know, those types of fights. And then you like change Snowfield mountaintops to have those bosses in it or something. Maybe one more big legacy dungeon like Shadow Keep was in there. That would be pretty much perfect, I think. That sounds pretty good to me. So yeah, I do think the game is too big, though. Okay, what is the strat? I didn't equip Stone Barb, which I apparently need. Stuff the DLC into Mount. I mean, that is kind of what I'm saying, I guess. It is sort of what I'm saying. DLC map was pretty layered. They just need to... I like the world of the DLC, I guess. Or the world layout, at least. But fill in some of the dead areas with some dungeons. Yeah, I agree with that, but even then, it's like... What I was talking about with the progression is like, how's the player getting stronger still at that point? In like an actual... natural way that's not just fragments that boost everything. But that's part of why I'm arguing the game's too big, because that stops happening at a certain point. Because you've already got your maxed out weapons, you're already reaching the soft cap on all the stats that you would want to. And so there's not really much else to find other than just like messing with cool items. But that's what the other Souls DLCs kind of are. I do think for, you know, if you look at DS3, you're certainly not reaching the soft caps. Even after completing a DLC playthrough, you're still not that high of a level in DS3, probably. Like maybe what, you're level 115 if you're lucky or something. After the DLC and then like every boss is killed. So it doesn't really have that problem. Like you're still getting a lot of money from the DLC bosses and then you're upgrading your character still. But it's also just like a bunch of like fun spells and weapons to play around with, which is the same as Shadow of the Erdtree. But the difference, I guess, is the other DLCs are way smaller. With only like a handful of bosses, so... it doesn't like over-bloat the game. I guess. Further weapon upgrades? Yeah, I that's what Convergence did, at least on like their first patch of the DLC. And I think that's fine. I do think, I really don't like it only applying to the DLC though. And that's not what Convergence did. Convergence added, I think, plus 30 weapons and plus 15 Somber or something like that. But then it transfers back to the base game. I think it doesn't feel good to go back to base game and then go back to being weaker, I think. Easter doesn't give you a reason to have those levels. Well, I mean, at least, though, you're still getting, especially for PvP, that those levels do matter. Like, going from level 90 to 115, that does make a difference, getting, like, extra vitality and kind of bonus stats. Yeah, sure, you don't need them, but it's still decent. Your character is still getting meaningfully stronger, but going from level 200 to 250 or something is, like, it doesn't really do much. So we want to left-hand the staff. Yeah, I do use Sacred Order. I don't think I use the Bleed. Okay, wait. We do have Stone Barb. I don't know if I need casting speed or not. I didn't write that down, but I probably should. Uh, 40-60 dex sometimes won't even save you a hit. I guess it depends on the weapon. Like, if you're talking a weapon like Crow Quills or something, like that definitely will save you a few hits on like some of the super high dex scaling weapons, but yeah, I see what you're saying, I guess. I don't think I use Bleed. Okay, so I'm just going to do this then. And then we will Golden Vow. Sacred Order. Howl. Stealth. Probably Drink. I think go here. Paramagica. How is that so wrong? You know what? I was supposed to go in front of it. So I've totally scuffed this one. So, I mean, I still got it, though. I think. Yeah, and you still get time for another cast, too, because Estelle will always do that other attack there, too. So, I really scuffed it, but still no problem. Kind of insane that that still works, no problem. Nightmares, have a good night, dude. Yeah, this is a very nice strat. It's kind of funny how this Estelle is actually easier than the other one. At least for this run. Like, it's easier to script this one. That was the wrong order, of course. We don't even need Stone Barb, but I think on certain RNGs, it might help us or something. I don't know. Kind of sketchy to leave this dungeon so late, but I mean, it's actually not that late. We're only on split 75 out of like 220 or something. And it's really just, the only way I could die is if I mess up the parkour, really. Wealth Desk, I appreciate that, dude. Magic works on every boss in the game. Yeah, pretty much. Even Renala is probably the worst boss with sorcery in the whole game. Luckily, she's a pretty early game boss, but then at the same time, you still have like Rock Sling, which is just pure physical, so it's fine. What's up, York? Joe, thanks, dude. Yeah, hopefully, actually, I was going to say hopefully tomorrow's an earlier stream, but I am golfing tomorrow morning, so I'm not sure on that. We will have to see. God run level 1 no upgrades all bosses when? I will never do that, dude. I was explaining earlier, the types of runs that I find the most fun are runs like this one, where it's a whole bunch of brand new stuff that I've never done on a run, so I have to figure out all these new strats and stuff. Doing a run like that, I mean, first of all, obviously, it's quite tedious on like SO1 plus 0, whatever, but those are runs I've already done before, but then just chaining them together pretty much, right? Not a huge fan of how much Midir counters Pyro. That's actually, he doesn't, dude, surprisingly. When I was doing, it was fairly recently, like less than a year ago, I went back to DS3 and did like Sorcery, Miracle, and Pyromancy all boss at no hit. Pyromancy in the DLC, I kind of thought was bad, especially the second DLC, but it destroyed everybody, dude. Like Boulder Heave on Midir is so good. Well, okay, well, it's not as good as like Lothric Knight's Sword or Twin Blades or anything like that, obviously, but the thing is it double hits him pretty much every time. And so every cast you're doing a very respectable amount of damage, actually. But then, yeah, where I was really surprised is I thought Demon Princes with Pyromancy, I thought it was just okay, because I thought you'd probably just go Black Flame or something, but Boulder Heave on them just stun locks them to death, and and in phase 2. Pretty much the exact same. It's probably the strongest thing on Demon Princes in the whole game, in fact. Yeah, it's pretty good on Midir too, though. Yeah, if you're actually using, like, fire, though, then you're in trouble. So, the reason I kill Estelle there... Well, yeah, Pestilent Mist is decent, but if you're going Sorcery, you're just use Crystal Soul Spear. Is much more consistent. Yeah, but Pestilent Mist is very FP efficient, though, I guess. Cat is moving the mouse. Yeah, she likes it over here because my PC is throwing heat up. And it's like right where she's sitting. The heated spot. But that's I need to I kind of forgot. I need to get her heated bed and try putting it over on the side. Maybe that'll work, but it probably won't. It probably won't work. Because it would be much better if she was over on this side. First playthrough was with Pyro. You had to look up what to use on Midir. Yeah, dude, my first playthrough, I was using Black Knight Sword and Perseverance to just, like, poise through everything, basically. But then what happened was I got to the DLC and the bosses started doing way too much damage for me to just Perseverance tank them. Oh, this works. I kind of was slow. And also just didn't put any of the right stuff on. Like I was supposed to... I only had 2 talismans doing anything there, but it's still fine. I was supposed to go naked and then put Boulder, Blue Dancer Charm plus Graven School. But yeah, so I was basically just Perseverance spamming through the entire game. And then I got to DLC, I got to Demon Princes. It didn't work anymore because they just did too much damage to me.
So close.
Jerk, thanks for the 61-month resub, dude. And then, yeah, so I basically had to actually learn the moveset of boss of Demon Princess. But then I got to Midir. And I couldn't do anything. Like, I was getting destroyed by him. And then I looked up what to do, and then I saw Pestilent Mist as the strat. And then, I don't think it helped. Like, I think I just kept getting destroyed by him. And I don't even think I realized that it did damage to myself. So it's just, like, sitting in it. It's like, oh, why's my health low? But then I eventually... I forgot how I beat him, but I just grinded for, like, 3 hours, and I beat him, I think. The Darkmoon Greatsword. All right, now we got a big running section. Anyways, it didn't go that well when I was fighting Midir the first time. He was one of the longest, or probably the longest, oops. Probably the second longest boss for me to kill in the whole game. Maybe, yeah, definitely top 2, I think. There are a bunch of guys that can spawn here, but if you take this path, they just don't spawn. Cerulean Ember +2. Hopefully got some arrows. This puzzle's horrendous. Which one? The turtle one? Well, I don't know if it's horrendous. I thought it was okay. It just takes a while. And the fact that you can't rest is kind of dumb. What do I think about upgrading Torrent as an option? Surely Tarnished Edition will have that with Torrent armor. You could upgrade. But, I mean, Torrent gets upgraded by the Revered Spear Dash in the DLC, right? Is that true? I don't remember. I thought that was the thing. But, I don't know. Upgrading Torrent... I mean, I would love to be able to go faster. So, if I could upgrade Torrent and Torrent would move faster, I think that'd be really nice. It's not that Torrent is too slow, but it would just be cool to have the option to go faster. Definitely. Yeah, see, what you have to do is you have to come down here, activate the puzzle, and then you just can't... Like, the real problem is that you can't just fast travel because then it resets everything. So you just straight up have to run all the way back up. Yeah, I mean, it could have been done better, probably. I don't mind having a scavenger hunt on a big island like this, though. Yep, this is the whole thing. Just running. Oh, wait. You can fast travel? Really? Is that really true? That doesn't sound right, but... I maybe should test that, I guess. That would save a bit of time. But, I mean, fast traveling and resting are, like, usually pretty much the same thing, but not always, I guess. So maybe. Yeah, Torrent having poise, I mean, maybe with the horse armor. Maybe, dude. That would be pretty cool. But probably not. Really? I wonder if it's possible to land on a tree and just die there or something. Like, land on a tree and then you hit the ground. You're not close to the spirit spring. You can fast travel. It saves your progress on the turtles. You just need to reread the... Okay, wait, what? So... Habs up 3-1? You're kidding me. Surely you're lying, dude. You have to reread the book at front of the tower, but... Oh my god, dude, what are the Canes doing? The Canes are getting back from, like, Cancun or something, so they're all rusty. Means nothing. I mean, how long have the Canes been off, actually? They've been off at least over a week, for sure. I mean, rest is really good in the playoffs, for sure, but... Yeah, I could see being a little rusty. Yeah, dude, almost 2 weeks is insane, man. When you did it back during launch, you don't think that was the case? Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of then. Because when I did all achievements no hit, that was like 3 years ago. So. Okay, so we go with... We are using Lord of Blood's Exaltation on this kill. Like, I just go for some kind of, like, cheap one-shot, basically. Not the most impressive kill. But on a boss that has this insane amount of HP, I guess it's pretty impressive that Sovereignty can do it, but... Okay, so... Did I already double Gambit? Oh, I need my physic, though. Oh, that's so annoying. No, I'm sure they didn't actually, Tom. I'm just I'm just messing around because that's such a huge break. Actually, I guess I didn't even have to quit out there because we've just done this. ER tool, harness tool to the rescue, I mean. Yeah, and I did say to rest at the rise. Okay. I don't say to use Sacred Order, but I probably should. All right, so Physic. Golden Vow. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I need to use Terra Magica. I don't know. I probably will anyways. Okay, then Seppuku. I'm gonna go test it. I might not actually even be able to cast it, but... yeah, okay. I should probably just write that just to just to make sure I don't do it. All enemies on horseback should give us armor or torn with different buffs. Well, I don't know about all enemies, but maybe that's something the Knights Cavalries could have done. That would have been pretty cool, I guess. Spencer, how's it going, dude? I don't say to use Sacred Order, but I also said to get enough strength to one-hand the Bastard Sword, so like that pretty much means I need to use Sacred Order, I think. I'm just gonna say to use it. Just be safe. Okay, so the better way to do this actually is to go with the seal in this hand and then use Sacred Order. But the kill lasts like 2 seconds, so it doesn't matter. It's just for the Howl buff. Like, you want to use Golden Vow and then Sacred Order normally. In this case, it probably is fine. This. Do this. Dude, what is happening in the game? I mean, I don't really care that much, I guess, but... dude, Carolina is asleep, man. That's that's crazy, dude. That's so funny. I am. And you know, the funniest part is that Ottawa didn't even manage to get a single lead in the entire series, man. Like, that's pretty embarrassing. Not a single lead for one singular second in the entire series. But then, yeah, when like Philly, at least they got swept, but they at least had some leads, though. Yeah, this game seems like it's already done. Why in that order? It's just because of buff duration times. Like, Sacred Order lasts... so Golden Vow lasts for 90 seconds. Or is it 80? It might be 80. Sacred Order lasts for 1 minute. Howl lasts for 40 seconds, I think. And then Lord of Blood's Exaltation lasts for 20. So... yeah, it sounds kind of do suck, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so... I think we're at the point now, I'm just pretty much clearing the scary bosses now. Because, like, there's no reason to go to Red Wolf now other than for danger. Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, Red Wolf is kind of sketchy on this with sorcery. Maybe. I can't remember exactly. Do we have Bloodhound Step? I guess. On a spear might not be the most practical. But I guess that's fine. One-shotting him with stealth? But wait, what? No. Like Red Wolf the champion? I thought you could. You can't stealth him, right? But yeah, definitely Red Wolf Radagon. I'm just one-shotting him, but yeah. Okay. It's just wait a second. What? No, but I was testing it. Yeah, you can't stealth him. Let's go with this one. Bloodhound Step. This one. Yeah, I think so. What I was doing. Oh, you know what? I was even using Raptors of the Mist here because we have it, but I don't have it equipped. But yeah, what I was doing was basically just running in and just using Night Comet, I guess. Do I have winning the cup? I don't really know, man. I honestly don't know. I haven't been paying any attention to it, and I think it'd be funny if Vegas won the cup. I don't like Vegas, but I think it'd be funny for Marner to leave Toronto and then immediately win the cup. I think that'd be so funny, dude. So, like, part of me wants to see that happen, even though I don't like them. Other than that, I really just don't care, I guess. Dude, imagine Vegas winning, like, Carter Hart in net, Marner... I mean, Marner's not, like, a bad dude or anything, but just, like, the Leafs fans would be fuming. Like, everyone would be fuming, pretty much, if that happened. Oh, yes, I was gonna equip Raptors of the Mist. I don't really know what to put it on, though. Can't go back to round table either, because I'm underground. Okay, so the strategy here is to get up here and double stealth. Then we jump over here. Very rarely on a no-hit run do you get a chance to do that strat. Because getting Raptors of the Mist is kind of a... you know what? It's actually not that bad. But you... like, yeah, the worst part is definitely just the invasion, I guess. It's actually not even that bad. What's the other part that I'm forgetting? I guess you have to kill Naragus, I guess. Kill Naragus and then just go to Academy. Like, it's actually really simple to get, but is it worth it to do that one strat there? Probably not. Okay, so... I don't need Red Feather, apparently. I mean... all I say to do is just buff and run up there and just attack him. I don't know if I made a save there. He got two-shotted there, right? Yeah, that's what I want. But But yeah, part of the reason why he's hard to script is, first of all, you can't stealth him, which is rare in this game. Like, one of the few bosses you can't use stealth on. But then all the pillars block. Like, if you try to use Loretta's Mastery, which would work very well, they just got blocked by the pillars, so it doesn't really work. Placidusax now. I think I just used Shard Spiral, probably. I didn't even write down what to do, so. Get Shard Spiral equipped. Yeah, that's right. Like, yeah, when I was testing that strat, like running basically halfway between the first two pillars. At least that's what I have in my notes. Yeah, it seemed to work every time I tried it, so. You can even go Sacred Order here for some more damage. Where you can't stealth them. Well, that's how bosses should be in this game. You shouldn't be able to stealth bosses ever, I think. But yeah, he's just a weird case. Or, well, yeah, he's just one of the rare bosses that you actually can't stealth and seems to work properly. Could you imagine how much different all bosses no hit would be if those stealth strats weren't a thing? How different would things be? I do think a lot of bosses you'd still be able to just walk in and just blast them with Night Comet, but those melee builds, like the Star Fist or even Bolt of Grandsax, trying to use that, like, it would be so much worse. There's be so many bosses that you would actually have to fight. That's probably what it should be. Try it. I don't know, maybe. Okay, I actually will go Seal in my right hand this time. Lank, how's it going, dude? I'm gonna do Howl. Lucy Wall released a video on YouTube talking about that bosses have a sense of smell? I've misplayed this horribly, but... You're actually joking, dude. I played that so bad, but I still got the kill. Hopefully I made a save there. That was so bad, but I still got it. Wait, okay, wait a second. I missed the rest of what you're saying. The value is something like nose_distance? That sounds very strange. Nose value. But okay, so what does that have to, so that's why Red Wolf specifically aggroes to you? And other bosses don't? Yeah, the game okay, yeah, that makes sense. The game telling you or telling the enemy where you are. Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. But I just don't... I mean, the big mystery is just why do bosses not aggro to you instantly when you when you enter the boss fights? I do think it makes sense for open world bosses. You probably should be able to sneak up on them, just considering... That was a little better, you could say. little bit better. Okay, yeah, so we are officially in the cleanup phase of the run. There's no more build setup that we need or anything like that. It's just, we're just, like, this was the point in the routing which I started just going through all the areas one by one pretty much, so. So that's good. We made it somewhere. I probably just made the aggro range the size of the boss's arena, forgetting that. Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly correct. I think that is what they did. Like, 100% you're right. I mean, they probably even made it way bigger, but the fact that you can... I mean, I can show what stealth does in this game, because a lot of people probably haven't seen it, or maybe they have, I don't know, but... If I do... where's targeting view? So, you see that? Well... Which enemy is good? I mean, that enemy's moving, but... I mean, this should work. This is one of the invisible assassins. So, if I crouch... Like, that's how stealth works. It's not that I'm adding stealth to my character. It's reducing the aggro range of the enemies. So, if I crouch... all of those aggro radiuses go down. If I use Unseen Form, it also goes down. If I Unseen Form and then crouch, it goes down even further. Then if I also add Assassin's Gambit and then crouch, it goes even further down. And then, like, nighttime also makes it go further down, stuff like that. Assassin Armor just makes you silent. It doesn't actually have any stealth effect on it other than just silence. And so you see, like, to start, we had a massive aggro range, and we can reduce that down to a tiny amount. And so, yeah, they probably made the bosses like, okay, they're going to enter the boss arena and just immediately aggro. We don't have to add anything extra for that. But when you can reduce, like, look how big that is compared to what we got it to. And that's, like, even without night. Like, it's pretty insane. So... yeah, I think night makes it smaller too, right? Pretty sure. And, like, there's also being in grass. Like, being in tall grass also does that. As you can see. And then even being... I don't know if it's the same effect, but being in... what the hell's that item called? The Mimic Veil or whatever? That also does that. So, yeah, you can... I don't know. You can really stealth, I guess. You can stack a lot of stealth stuff together. So even if a boss's aggro range is way bigger than the arena, it just might not even matter at all. Because how much you can reduce the range, aggro range of the enemies. I won't do this just yet, I guess. Shared order 10%. I want to say yes, but I'm actually not certain of that. I think it does the same thing that Sacred Order does, but I am not certain. But Sacred Order, if that's what you mean, is, yeah. I mean, Sacred Order is honestly one of the best buffs in the game. If you're one-handing. It's so strong, dude. I don't think I was thinking about trying a build that you basically go double Sacred Order on just some power stance weapon. Like, I don't even know if it applies twice, to be honest. I know it does on undead enemies, but I don't know if each one would give you 10% more damage or how that works, but yeah, it's a great option for dual wield builds, though. Like, just getting one weapon with Sacred Order. Wait, do I have... Entering through Foggate could remove any stealth buffs? Yeah, I guess it could, but I think just making the boss automatically aggro to you through, like, a line of code or something would probably be more straightforward. have to remember that there is no spirit spring once you burn the capital. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an event. Yeah. I mean, that's presumably what Red Wolf has, right? Or Red Wolf of the Champion. So that seems like a very simple thing to do, but again, they probably just didn't even think they needed it. Probably like, oh yeah, we'll just make a gigantic aggro range on the boss or whatever. And then they'll just see them when they come in, but it's a massive oversight, honestly, because it's so broken that you can do that. I think with line of sight stuff, like if you can... Like, for example, the half-light strat in DS3, the whole idea is that you run behind a pillar before he spawns in, and then the pillar's like, you're line of sighting him with the pillar. That kind of makes sense to me. I think that does make sense. When a boss spawns in and you're behind a wall, it's like, oh, I can't see them or whatever. So, wait, am I... We'll come back here later, I guess. Because after Memory Grace. Jaburi's woe increase aggro range? I actually don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. I guess I haven't checked. I don't think that's how it works, but I might be wrong. Maybe it does. Like, maybe that's why it feels like it doesn't do anything in co-op or whatever, because then, like, just increasing the aggro range doesn't necessarily make enemies target you more if you have a summon. It's a good question, though. I kind of feel like I should use Red Feather for this, man. Because it's close, and right now it needs to be a headshot in order to get the kill. Recycle has one, dude. Red Feather. Wait. Go this one. That's right. Counted one time how many bosses you can kill with stealth and no interaction whatsoever. It was like 60 plus. That almost seems too low. But I guess, yeah, if you're the thing is, a lot of the main bosses can be, well, at least some of the main bosses, you can enter their arena, leave, and then come back, and then you can stealth them. But yeah, if that doesn't count, then I don't know. Definitely, that sounds... It sounds like it would be almost half the bosses in the game. But I don't know. This is not my favorite way to kill this boss, but at least it avoids potential memes with the stupid mausoleum. Again, I apparently I need to headshot. $18,000. That's pretty close. Dude, I don't really... I shouldn't have dropped down, probably. Because what if the mastery hits the ground, but it didn't? Easily script phase 1 Godfrey with Frenzy Burst across the arena. Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, I do Comet Azure. But I also use stealth so I get close enough and it's like actually fully scripted, but...
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
I'll try a body shot and just see. Stay there, please. I wonder if 2 is safe. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could just immediately turn around and do the... whatever the trail is, maybe. Oh, yeah, Terra Magica. That's true. Yeah, I just totally forgot. It's a good point. Oh, boy. Claws are coming out. I've done no-hit item randomizer before in this game, and I think DS3, but I remember attempting that. I can't remember if I did it, though. But not with enemies, though, because enemy is just, like, big RNG farm, which I kind of don't really like, so. I'm not known for doing runs with a lot of RNG in them. Oh my god, my cat's just clicking around, dude. Did I do all the buffs? No, I don't have Howl up. I think the other buff should last long enough, though. They do last a minute each. Oh, nice. Okay, there it is. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I forgot Terra Magica, but... Nice. Okay, that makes that a little safer, I think. Yeah, we're probably not going to stream for too much longer. I have to wake up quite early tomorrow. And this is the second stream today, even though the first one was only like an hour long, but... Wait, Oh. Yeah, you're right. Whoops. Okay, okay. Well, we're clearly good then. That's hilarious that it still worked, actually. Yeah, that's funny. I guess in the first test, I didn't even have, like, any of them, probably. Unless I did remember to switch. I don't know. Why did I unequip Shard Spiral? Yeah, I mean that's how this game works, though, right? Or any Souls game, or probably any hard game out there, is that you do it yourself, and it's like, man, this was insanely hard. I've never noticed the lit up item up there. What is that? But yeah, you know, spend so many hours on it, and then you go watch like a YouTuber or streamer do it or something, and it's like, wow, that did not look so hard, or that looked way easier than when I tried it. In this case, it's just because we're cheesing everything, but and also playing the game like for 6,000 hours helps too, I guess. But not so much in this case. This is just pure build. Usually icon's better. And I'll physic last too to get unlimited FP. Why not? But yeah, that's what got me into doing these runs in the first place. Is that I watched a DS3 no hit run, and like I was basically comparing it to my playthrough of the game, and I just couldn't believe how fast they got through the tutorial, like, and killed Udex Gundyr. Like, that's what got me into doing challenges in the first place, dude. Like, what the hell was that, man? They're out of the tutorial in 3 minutes, and it took me, like, actual hours, dude. Yeah, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you gotta watch in 1080p, unfortunately. That's probably why you were having issues. Just YouTube's broken or something with browsers, I don't know. I don't think it's actually on my end, probably. Considering I've seen a bunch of people talking about it. And, like, other threads when I was looking at how to maybe fix it. Crusader. $12 hours in so far. I think 20 hours is probably right. You still have to beat the game a couple more times and kill all of these extra bosses that drop spells and stuff. Also heard browsers. No, I meant to say browsers, I guess, but... Alright, if we double stealth here... I don't even know if I have to crouch for this, but... That guy totally saw me. Or no, he didn't. It's still so funny for me to think back to when I first started routing all bosses no hit in this game, and the 165 all bosses run. I didn't even use stealth for anything, and I routed like half the run. And then people were telling me like, oh yeah, you can stealth this boss or something, and it's like, wait, what? And it's like, oh, it turns out you can stealth everybody. And then that was even without double stealth. Okay, my cat has finally gone to the place where I want her to be. Spot that makes the most sense. Yeah, and that was even without double stealth, which is even more powerful, because even more bosses can get stealth by that. It's so stupid, actually, but... okay, let's do this. Just trying to scratch my shoulder, dude. It's insane. Her claws are so sharp that, like, I don't stand a chance. My skin does not stand a chance against her, dude. Okay, I'll probably do Borealis and then end, I guess. Oh god, dude, she's really trying to get me here. It's usually the reverse. Like, usually people try to pet cats and the cats dodge them. This is the opposite. My cat is trying to not really pet me, but looks similar. No, we don't trim their claws. I guess maybe we could, but... Hey, see, she's doing it herself. You just want to scratch stuff right now. Yeah, I probably could if I wanted to, like, save some furniture, maybe, but... Okay, so... Just Night Comet again. I guess that was fine, but it was a little close, maybe. But I guess Borealis would have to go into that phase 2 move, right? So... Yeah, that strat's not 100% consistent. Sometimes Borealis can be turning the other way. My last 2 stone sword keys. All right, anyways, I gotta go to sleep, man. How does Night Comet do that? It's just strong. I mean, you could do that with other sorceries too, but Night Comet is just so simple. Like enemies, the biggest, like Night Comet does a ton of damage, but then enemies also just can't input read it. Especially good for NPCs and stuff. So, anyways, yeah, have a good night, you guys. I probably will be back on tomorrow, but I am not certain, but probably. What is happening here? Oh. Anyways, yeah, take care, you guys. Sure, yeah, surely we'll be back on tomorrow, and we're finally at the part where, yeah, just killing off the rest of the bosses, maybe collecting a few more items, but we're just going area by area now. I still need to rank everything based on like the riskiness of the split, and then I'll sort all this stuff by like doing the hardest stuff as soon as possible. But yeah, we are over 12 hours into the run, so I mean, it's not exactly an early reset if I get hit to something scary, but also Base God, thanks for the gifted sub, by the way. Sorry I missed that, dude. But anyways, yeah, take care, guys. Have a good night, and I will see you all next stream.